Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Ade-OLUWA, and there is one frequently asked question that I want to really expatiate upon, and it goes, when do I know that I'm ready to get married? I mean, apparently that is one question that a lot of people, don't quite know how to, like they don't really know when they're really ready. And something just occurred to me days ago, because I asked myself these questions too, and I felt, um, if and when you can marry yourself, right? You can marry yourself, because I'm assuming that you have dated yourself, but even if you haven't, but you know yourself, right? You know what you do, you know the real you and everything. And if you can marry yourself with everything you know about you, and you can marry yourself for the rest of your life, for better, for worse, um, without feeling miserable, then you're ready to get married. If you can marry yourself, sure, it can be 100%, maybe 80%, right? Maybe there are just some things that you don't have to get that yet, or that is not so satisfactory that you just find yourself that you have to live with it. Yeah, it's not necessarily, you just have to live with it. That's how you feel at the moment. You know that a change will come, but it hasn't come yet. And those are different. Those are part of like the 20% left. But if you're 80% sure that you can marry yourself, and for better or for worse, um, for the rest of your life, and you won't be miserable, you'll be happy, you'll be excited, there's so many things you can resolve together. That's great. But let me put it in another way, so that those who don't get what I'm saying may understand. Take, for instance, someone gives you a clone of yourself, but in the form of the opposite sex, right? Like the clone of yourself, like your habits, the way you talk, the way you think, the way you reason things, your principles, your everything, right? Probably even looks included. Well, all right, maybe not exactly, but you get the idea. And then puts it in another person and says, here is the person you're supposed to marry. How would that make you feel? Would you be able to say yes if a copy of you, right, an exact copy of you proposes to you? Well, if you're a woman, and if you're a man, if an exact copy of you comes before you, you know, um, everything about you is in this person, right? In a feminine form, maybe as a man, and as a woman, he comes in a masculine form. Would you be able to marry that? So that's just it right there for me. And of course, when we talk about being ready to get married, like, what do you know about marriage? um, what have you learned about marriage? Have you been reading? Have you been studying? Have you been praying towards that? Have you been planning towards that? Do you understand? What are your plans for marriage? What do you intend to do after marriage? Granted, there are so many things that you cannot decide to do on your own, because you're not the only one to be in that marriage. So that's understandable. Like, but at least, what are you doing on your own part to prepare yourself, to prepare your mind? You know, what do you term as maturity? Are you settled? Do you understand? Are you Do you still think that you have to play games? Um, what kind of life do you want for yourself? Have you decided? what kind of married life you want for yourself, especially as a woman. So maybe I shouldn't even go general right now, you know but maybe general right now, and then in the next video I will talk about how a woman can better prepare herself for marriage. In the meantime, stay healthy. If you don't need to go out, stay at home, please. And make sure you take all the necessary precautions. Take all the necessary precautions. Wear your face masks. Socially distance yourself, right? So unless you're going to work, no socials. Limit your socials to social media. Thankfully we have that. Probably, maybe God saw this coming. Not maybe, God knew this was going to come, and that's why we have social media. So you can all go on social media and just say hi and gist and talk. And you can do just about anything online these days. You can buy stuff online, so you don't necessarily have to go shopping. If you can afford to do online delivery where you are at, fantastic. Especially if the online delivery is cheaper. So, and then stay healthy, okay? Don't say, oh, maybe in your country or where you are at, the restrictions on the pandemic has been reduced. Don't relax completely because of that. Keep taking your vitamin C, keep boosting your immunity, keep eating your vegetables, drinking your water. Unless you want to be injected with something that we have already been told has side effects in the name of vaccine. I don't know any vaccine that doesn't have side effects. So what is new, right? So I think the best policy is to prevent it, or at least make sure that your immune system is top notch, as it were. And it's all in the food. You understand? It's all in the food, the vegetables, the fruits in their season, right? Variety from all classes of food. And then of course you want to be specific on zinc, you want to be specific on vitamin C, right? So yeah, stay safe, stay healthy, and keep God first place. Shalom.